To harness his wife's pain as a source of power, the man subjected her to 1,000 cuts, knowing that the more she suffered, the more spiritual energy, the spirit orb beside her, would emit energy he could then use to win wars. But the torment from 1,000 cuts only lasted a day, far too brief to sustain victory after victory. So he threw her into a deep-water dungeon over 100 meters down, where the constant agony of suffocating would provide a steady stream of pain. The method worked within months. The man won battle after battle, all powered by the spiritual energy born from her suffering. But just as he was about to unify the entire realm, his army was halted by a small neighboring city protected by a wall of fire. Unable to advance, he realized the spirit orb had weakened, no longer emitting enough power. The reason: his wife had grown used to the suffocation and no longer felt the same pain. Desperate, he ordered her pulled from the water and once again inflicted the 1,000 cuts, forcing her body to feel unbearable pain anew. It worked. The skies opened with torrential rain that extinguished the wall of fire, and without resistance, the enemy surrendered before the battle even began. Yet despite finally uniting the land, the emperor felt no joy. Every victory had come at the cost of his wife's pain, and she was the person he loved most. He had only ever wanted to fulfill the promise he made to her years ago, before he became emperor. Back then, he was just a fugitive fleeing assassins, and it was she who saved his life. They fell in love quickly, and as they grew closer, he discovered her secret. When pricked, her wounds healed instantly, and during battle, she once took a barrage of arrows meant for him, yet didn't die. Instead, he grew stronger, realizing that the more pain she endured, the more powerful the spirit orb became. Though he loved her deeply, he chose to use her pain to win wars, comforting himself with the belief that since she was immortal, she could survive the torment, and afterward, they could be together. But he was terribly wrong. Her constant agony had worn down her immortality. She had only 3 days left to live. Worse, her years of suffering had twisted her feelings. The woman he once loved now harbored only hatred, and she had made a decision. At their wedding 3 days later, she would make him pay for everything.